Hey, it's Jason. We're getting towards the end of the year, and one of the phones that have stood out the most to me is the new Google Pixel 9 Pro. It's like the one device that actually went through what I would call a significant upgrade. This is quite a leap from the Pixels of the past, and no doubt it's been super fun to use over the past month or so. But are the improvements good enough to make the Pixel 9 Pro a legitimate contender in the space of top-end flagship for the masses, or does it still have some catching up to do before it could break into the mainstream? Well, in order to find an answer to that question, I thought I'd do a cross comparison between the Pixel 9 Pro and the brand new iPhone 16 Pro, Apple's latest and greatest they dropped a few weeks ago, all in an effort to help you decide which phone is better for you. But before we jump into it, a real quick plug for the JSL newsletter. I send subscribers out the most popular wallpapers I get asked about, as well as really good tech deals and fun articles written by yours truly. It's totally free. Link to subscribe will be in the description down below. Okay, first, let's talk about design and form factor, an important place to start as these two phones have quite a similar look now. Starting out with the iPhone 16 Pro, it has a near identical look and feel from last year's 15 Pro as it still sports the updated brushed titanium frame, which makes the phone feel a lot lighter in the hand compared to when they used stainless steel. Some like the weight reduction while others don't, as they argue it doesn't feel as premium. I personally feel as though it's a good change because the heft of the stainless steel did make it uncomfortable to hold after extended periods of time. Now Google, despite using similar build materials from its previous Pixel models, it has completely overhauled the design and look of their flagship phone. Deciding to go with the blueprint with the proven track record of success, the Pixel 9 Pro now has the popular industrial aesthetic with a flattened out frame and glass on both front and back. The aluminum here is ever so slightly curved at the edges to make the phone a bit more comfortable to hold, and it's actually lighter in weight than the iPhone 16 Pro. When it comes to camera layout, the iPhone maintains its triple camera setup on the top corner of the phone, while Google modified its signature camera bar into more of a camera island. I think it looks good, and I do appreciate that Google went with the matte finish on the housing rather than a polished one. Now the screens on the iPhone 16 Pro models have gotten slightly larger, mainly by reducing the size of the already slim bezel to the point where it's probably one of the thinnest on any phone going into 2025. Again, it's a pretty small increase, but I do like the immersive look. The regular Pixel 9 Pro has the same size display as the regular iPhone 16 Pro, while the Pixel 9 Pro XL is a smidgen smaller than the 16 Pro Max, coming in at 6.8 inches. But both phones have spectacular screens that look great. I will say that the peak brightness on the Pixel is slightly higher as it has a peak brightness of 3000 nits, which is really handy if you're looking at your phone a lot in direct sunlight. Both have an IP68 dust and water resistance rating, and both have done a great job with the colors this year. Now when it comes to who did it better, we first have to address the 500-pound elephant in the room here. Yes, it could be argued that the Pixel quote-unquote stole the look that it has now from the iPhone. The iPhone was the first phone to adopt this now popular design and really kick off a trend. Now, does it matter? Not really, and the Pixel is definitely not the only phone to have adopted this form factor. But at the end of the day, I have to give the win to the iPhone here, mainly because these phones do look so similar, but the iPhone 16 Pro is using more premium build materials. No doubt, the Pixel 9 Pro has made the most improvements in the design category from last year, but I feel as though it more caught up to the likes of the iPhone. It hasn't exceeded it yet, in my opinion. Now, the iPhone may have a slight edge in physical design, but it definitely is a fragile phone that you're going to want to protect, and a simple and effective way to do so is using the extremely popular accessories made by ESR, today's video sponsor. So first and foremost, you're going to want to protect that huge piece of glass that is the front display, and there's no better way to do so than by using ESR's Armorite screen protector. Not only is it made with reinforced 9H hard glass that can withstand 110 pounds of pressure on its edges, ESR has made the installation process the easiest thing ever. Just clean off your screen using the included cleaning materials and then place your phone into the precisely fitting tray and then close. And from there, all you have to do is pull away this tab sticking out, and in literally seconds, you have a perfectly aligned bubble-free install that truly couldn't be easier. And your now fully protected screen pairs perfectly with ESR's popular MagSafe cases for the iPhone 16 Pro, starting with the classic hybrid case that has built-in shock-absorbing air guard corners and an ultra-strong built-in magnet that keeps your MagSafe accessories glued to the phone. But of course, it also comes with ESR's award-winning stash stand, an integrated metal kickstand that you can use to prop up your phone while keeping the overall footprint of the case relatively thin. You also have the Cloud Soft case that is made out of a premium liquid silicone for an exceptionally soft and grippy touch while still providing 11-foot drop protection, and is also equipped with the stash stand and magnet on the back. But if you need that extra mile of protection, you have ESR's CyberTough case that has a 3-layer design delivering a pretty insane 23-foot drop protection without breaking a sweat while still giving you all of the benefits that ESR cases are known for. If you guys are interested in learning more about the Armorite screen protector or the MagSafe cases by ESR, use the links that are in the description down below. Get the protection and peace of mind that you deserve. Check out ESR today. Okay, so let's compare the performance and features between the Pixel 9 Pro and the iPhone 16 Pro. Both have their strengths and limitations. Off the bat, the iPhone 16 Pro is equipped with Apple's new A18 Pro processor, arguably the most powerful mobile chipset on any phone right now, period, and by a considerable margin. Compare that with the Pixel's Tensor G4, and it's a pretty easy win for the iPhone, but it's not to say that the Tensor is bad. Now, Google has struggled to keep their homegrown processor up to par with the big boys in the field, but I will say that the G4 so far is stable and fingers crossed it stays that way. Now what's interesting is that both Apple and Google have gone out of their way to signify that their new processors that they've developed are specifically designed to manage AI related tasks, the main focus for both the Pixel and the iPhone. But what's important to note that as of filming this October 12th, 2024, only one of these phones actually has the AI features that were boasted about turned on, and that's the Pixel 9 Pro. The Pixel actually shipped with many of the AI features turned on, and for the most part from a performance standpoint, they work really well. Some notable new features include the new Add Me feature that allows you to artificially add yourself into a group picture when you weren't part of it. There's also the new Pixel Studio, which is Google's new AI image generator that works surprisingly fast and is a great feature to show off to a group of friends. Now, are any of these features actually useful? Not really in my opinion, but in this particular scenario, it means a lot just that they're available to users, as Apple's intensely hyped Apple Intelligence Suite is nowhere to be found. Despite AI overwhelmingly being the main thing Apple harped about during the iPhone 16 keynote, there are still 0 features available for users to test out, so the phone feels somewhat half-baked to say the least. Now, unrelated to AI, the iPhone 16 Pro does come with Apple's new camera control button on the side that can access the camera app and be used to swipe through camera features. It's not the most intuitive thing to navigate, as I feel as though it's been over-engineered and has poor ergonomics to the point where it's almost never used. And in that regard, I have to give an easy win for the Pixel here, almost for just showing up, and even though I have to believe that sooner or later Apple will release Apple Intelligence, the fact that they haven't by now is pretty annoying, mainly because they kept telling people it's the main reason to buy the iPhone 16 Pro. But let's talk about what I still consider to be the most important area of performance despite all this AI craziness, and that of course is the camera quality. Both phones have triple camera setups on the back with respective selfie cameras on the front, and generally speaking, when it comes to still image photography, both phones do very well to the point where either of these phones could be considered the best. I will say that the photos coming out of the Pixel are a bit more stylized and at times more pleasing to the eye, as they are a bit more dolled up, while the iPhone continues to go down the path of giving a more natural look. I also noticed that the Pixel usually does better in low light, while the iPhone does slightly better with dynamic range. Now, an important thing to note is that the Pixel has a pretty beefed up 42 megapixel selfie camera that is, in my opinion, the best selfie camera on any phone right now. It's pretty great, but the image processing is a bit aggressive on the Pixel, and at times you can get some weird artifacts that makes the photos come off inorganic. Now, when it comes to video, they'll both do a great job with their respective 4K video shooting capability. The iPhone is still the clear king, and even more so now with the ability to shoot slow-mo at 120 frames per second. It's pretty crazy that a smartphone can do this, as it's an extremely taxing function even for high-end cinema cameras, and the footage that you're able to get is pretty outstanding. Now, the Pixel does have a wild card up its sleeve with its video boost feature that sends the 4K clip to the cloud to have machine learning algorithms make it better and bump up the resolution to a ludicrous 8K resolution. And despite this sounding like a gimmick, the footage that comes back actually does look noticeably better, especially shots in low light, but there's a pretty big catch. It takes an extremely long time for the clips to process. A 15-second clip took more than an hour to get back, so it's not the most practical thing to use if you're into shooting a lot of video. At the end of the day, it's going to be hard to definitively declare a winner for camera performance. To me, the iPhone has an overall better camera suite with its more consistent performance in both stills and video, but this one is going to be pretty close. And that brings me back to where we started, trying to answer the question, is the Pixel 9 Pro now at a place where it can compete with the likes of the newest iPhone? And I think the simple answer is yes. Google to me has kind of hit a home run here with this new phone. It's so much more well thought out than the Pixels that came before it, and I've genuinely been having way more fun using the Pixel 9 Pro over my new iPhone. Now, will that last? It's hard to say given some of the performance hiccups Pixels are known for as they age, and when Apple eventually launches Apple Intelligence, we'll have to explore what this does to the calculus, as there's a lot of promises that have been made by Apple. But for the here and now, I actually think the Pixel 9 Pro is one of the best, if not the best phone of the year when you factor in how much it's improved in such a short amount of time, and it'll be interesting to see if it becomes a fixture at the top with the likes of Apple and Samsung. But hey, that's just me, and I want to know what you guys think. Which phone do you guys think is better? The Pixel 9 Pro or the iPhone 16 Pro? Curious to get your thoughts, let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. And in case you guys missed my dedicated reviews for both, check them out here, they're going to help you be as informed as possible.